The planet baldness. We will regrow. We will rebuild. We will optional. And that's what happened to the NASA probe that went to baldness. Okay, it was filled with a bunch of, celebrities who think they're astronauts, and it didn't end well. Uh, I am loving this world we're in. I'm sorry, I can't get over it, but it's just, you didn't even break the atmosphere and you're an astronaut. That's like saying every single person who ever went up in a plane is a jet pilot. Oh, like the other day, I was sitting here thinking, that means every male who ever lost their virginity is a gynecologist. Um, Anyone who's ever, been into a pool, like a full, size pool, not your, is now a deep sea diver. But okay. Oh, it just amazes me how people seem to think it's so easy to gather titles. And I went on about this the other day. Like you publish anything on the internet, now you're an author, and you take a picture of something with your phone, which automatically focuses. You can run a billion different filters, and now you're a photographer. I remember back when to become a photographer, you had to learn how to use a camera with film, and you had to know how to develop film. And well, a lot of people were, by now, by the time, say 20 years down the line, they're going to be like, "What the hell was film?" Um, well, Friday, yeah, is a man's name, but also Friday came from Freya's day. I can't remember who Tuesday was. That's the one that always trips me up. I know Sunday was sun, for the sun. Monday was Moon Day. Tuesday trips me up. Wednesday was Woden's Day. Thursday, Thor's Day. And Saturn was Saturn. Saturday was Saturn's Day. Fugitive Doctor will appear in the episode 5 finale. Okay. The thing is, that would all right. Where are you getting this from, Mark? Because I missed it. I'm sorry. I've just been trying to stay, in one state of being lately. It's just, things are shifting around. These 9-hour days are insane. So I'm lucky if I can get a couple hours of Fallout 76, and when I get home, it's like time to go to bed. And all right, it's another Reddit leak. All right, Doctor Who filming locations hinted at it. Well, we do know there was going to be something about, timeless children drifting around in this series somewhere. At least that's what I kept hearing. Like I said, we'll see. Like I don't read anything off Reddit. They've, because sometimes what's going on with Reddit these days is they leak fake information out on the Reddit. Also, a lot of people were making a lot of weird assumptions because, Joe Martin was at the Way Caught at the premiere for the Way Caught for that one episode or for the season, but then again, so was Michelle Gomez, and so was a whole lot of other people who've been on the show before. And so was the lady who played, Martha Jones' mom. It's It's just, sorry, it just, who cares, Matthew? If you're looking at my teeth, I'm kind of worried about your oral fixation. Do you like my mouth, Matthew? I bet you'd like my mouth. Oh, God, no. That got creepy and sinister real freaking quick, didn't it? All right, yeah, and like I said, the problem is anybody shows a spider, anybody shows anything like that, everybody assumes it's got to be the 8 legs. Like I said, we've had that happen a billion times, but like they had me going when all the appearances of the letter omega, the Greek letter omega, back a few series ago, and I'm like, oh, okay, they're hinting at omega's coming back, and turns out, no, they weren't. I'm not even going to respond to that one. Hello from North Korea. Get me out of here. Well, you're just going to have to do like the guy from Hyundai did. You're going to have to steal a cow, sell it, and get over the border and become a car tycoon, and then an automaker tycoon, and then I know. But meanwhile, yeah, there's just a lot of speculation going on right now. I don't think a whole lot of people know as much as they claim they know. And like I said, I trust Doctor Who filming locations because they were there when a lot of stuff was filmed. And, they were, well, when it was filmed on locations, what I mean. Unlike certain others who get free passes onto the set and then do podcasts in their pants. Do we know who I'm talking about? Oh, yeah, I'm just kidding. Well, I know, like I said, of course I'm jealous as hell. I'd like to have a 5-minute conversation with like Jodie Whittaker, but it's never going to happen. I was just happy I got to meet her for all of like 10, 20 seconds. Trust me, there was a part of me that just wanted to give that poor lady a hug and say, I am sorry for some of the dregs of our community. Ugh. Well, they'll be out when they're out. Like I said, I don't know. Have you seen them, Saeed? I'm just not really looking shit up in the afternoon anymore because my X account I'm using for, like I said, I'm using a totally separate X account just so I can log in from my desktop now for like, social media for X, because I tried getting back in using, my regular account. I can use my regular original account on my phone and my tablet, but when I try to log in through my desktop, it's a suspicious login. And I'm like, well, I gave you all the security information. It's still a suspicious login. It's like, fix that, Elon Musk. You can put people in orbit, but you can't, you got, ugh. But like I said, the TV ratings, I'm not worried about anymore. Let's see how many people stream it over, say, the Plus 28, and then I'll start worrying. Also, they have been hitting pretty good in the, I think it was like 25 to 49 demographic and some other stuff they've been aiming for. But the big decision is going to have to come from Disney. Is the show going on hiatus? I have a gut feeling it is. Hopefully a short hiatus, but I just have this gut feeling that, the Shooty's going to be out of there at the end of this season. And I've heard it from, a few, I've had hints. And plus, like I said, I think it was Doctor Filming Location said suddenly out of nowhere, a few months after filming was wrapped, you had a bunch of other stuff that, for Doctor Who, that was obviously Doctor Who that was being shot. Which means something got reshot and it was major. So, oh God, these gals are lucky, Oh, it's like, let me see, what were your qualifications to get onto that Blue Origin flight or whatever? I'm a pop star. I'm banging the guy who built it. I'm a former TV show host. I've had 2 days of training in how to buckle a safety belt and open a door. And how to get in and out. Now, like I said, I don't really take anything that comes in the Reddit series from, I really have to weigh it and measure it versus other stuff I've heard, because a lot of the stuff coming off Reddit has been garbage. I really hope it's not true, the stupid bi-generation of the Ronnie storyline, because that means every damn Time Lord's going to bi-generate from now on. And we're going to have 50 incarnations of, like, David Tennant, because he's multiplying like rabbits out there. But then again, if Georgia Tennant keeps it up, they might have 50 incarnations of David Tennant. I'm not kidding. He just looks at that poor girl and she's pregnant. But okay. It's getting to the point the doctor's going to stall a hand crank on her so they can just shoot him out like a Gatling gun. I'm like, but well, the thing is, going to Mars, everyone seems to think it's going to be an easy thing. And it's like, it's not. Mars has to be in the right position. And you're talking months in space. And that's months with nothing going wrong. Months of air, months of food, months of water. Enough fuel to get you there, land you, and get you back. And you're just not going to accomplish that without some kind of setup. If you've ever seen the movie The Martian, that's most likely you're going to have to build some kind of mothership. And hell, Martha Stewart went up on the vomit comet. And does that mean she's an astronaut? Because that's all they did not experience actual weightlessness. That crew on Blue Origin, they didn't break the atmosphere. The free-floating sensation that they're all feeling was when the ship began to drop. And that's exactly what they do with this big plane they modified. They call it the Vomit Comet, where they take people up to experience weightlessness or their nearest thing of it. And all that plane does goes up real, and then it starts going up and down like this suddenly. And that's where you get the weightlessness feeling from. And that's all it was on that Blue Origin craft, that New Shepard shit. They did not even get into orbit. They didn't do one orbit. They didn't make it into orbit. Oh, well. I'm not kidding. I agree with you there, Saeed. If he does another bi-generation like that, just to, plus the fact that I don't see Mrs. Flood as the Ronnie. And unless it is some weird experiment by the Ronnie, but even then, I've read that one too, Mark. That we're supposed to see the Asian version of the Ronnie, and then there's Mrs. Flood and blah blah. There's a bi-generation. Blah, 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 blah. Oh God, I'm really hoping that's not true. I'm really hoping that it's misinformation, because they have done stuff like that before, where they've dangled a past character in these spoilers, and it turns out it was all bullshit. That's another thing, people. Yeah, it could be Tech Tayun. It could be Rassilon. We don't know. It could be Tech Tayun still playing around. But okay, I just looked at the time. I got to run inside. Unfortunately, we will be here tomorrow morning. So if you want to tune in for Saturday morning, yes, we will be here. I have to work tomorrow morning, which really sucks. So, well. Just remember, be kind, be calm, be safe. Enjoy your weekend. If you're going to have a whole weekend, me, I'm not going to. But in that case, we'll see you tomorrow morning. Take care, everyone. Have a great day.